Previously on Balls.
Yes, I'm very well, thank you. Yourself?
All right, thank you. Nice to have a final chat before we leave you in peace for the rest of the year. And how's the weather there in the UK?
I'm looking outside now. It's about -4 at the moment, so it's all covered in frost, and it's all very white, but just frost, not snow at the moment.
Are you expecting snow for Christmas?
No, I think it's going to actually get warmer over the next few days,
really?
and so a warmer spell's coming in. It's been cold for the last week or so. Say last night down to about -4, -5, so it's a bit chilly.
Fantastic. Well, we hope you have a really, really good Christmas, and thanks for all your time chatting to us during the course of the year. Really appreciate it. Just wrapping up the football year, as obviously we're going to a really, really crazy time now in English Premier League football. The Christmas period is sometimes what they, like in golf term, the third round, the moving round. So this is where everyone sort of gets into position.
Yes, I mean it can be a case of do or die for some clubs. It's a case of there are probably 4 or 5 games played over the next 2 weeks, and there's a lot of points to be won and lost. And at the moment in the Premiership, I mean no one has really staked a major claim for the title yet. I think everyone has had an erratic time, ups and downs. Man City, of course, last week. First game unbeaten, been unbeaten all season, and then of course United come along and turned them over in the last minute. So it was a great game, but again United went 2-0 up. City came back, a great comeback, and then Mr. Van Persie pops up with the winner. So United at the top of the table, 6 points clear, and mentioned it last time I was on, but United always tend to get stronger in the second half of the season. So that's a bit worrying for the chasers.
Yeah, the other big thing that happens, of course, the transfer window opens again, and there's a lot of speculation about who's going to be buying who. It seems like a bit of pressure on Arsenal to go and buy some players. I see a couple of names have been mentioned, which must be making Alex Ferguson very happy because he'll end up with them at the end.
No, it's. I mean, Arsene Wenger has got some work to do at Arsenal. He hasn't really spent a lot of money. Yeah, I think he's got to go out and spend. I think the fans, to be honest, have been a bit unfair. If you look at what Arsene Wenger has achieved over this last 14 years, 14 years straight Champions League football. I mean, that is quite a record. But of course, they want silverware. They got knocked out of the League Cup this week by Bradford, so that didn't go down too well, and they put out a very strong side. So. Yes, I mean you'd definitely be looking at some, 2 or 3 players coming in at Arsenal. But having said that, every team that's either looks like they could be fighting for the title or fighting to avoid relegation, they'll all be looking to spend to try and strengthen their squads.
All right, let's just talk about the speculation that we found via Twitter and online today, and it involves a few clubs really. But Pep Guardiola coming out and saying that if he is going to come to English Premier League football, Arsenal is his choice of team, and he doesn't want to go to Chelsea because of the instability there. Now, what do you think the chances are? Because remember, he got his coaching badge at Arsenal. I mean, that's where he went through the Arsenal ranks to get his coaching badge. He has a relationship with Wenger. Do you see maybe some kind of a handing over of the guard, so Arsene's hanging in until Pep's finished his sabbatical, and then he's going to announce he's leaving and Pep will take over?
Well, if you're writing a film script, yes, that would make perfect sense. And at the same time, you probably bring in Jose Mourinho at Manchester United, and obviously Alex Ferguson would step aside.
Do you think Alex will step aside, though?
Well, I think that Alex Ferguson's very close with Mourinho. And again, Arsene Wenger, how close he is to Guardiola, I'm not sure. But say he'll be coming to that stage in his career now where if an opportunity arises to be able to perhaps move upstairs, be a director of football, but to be honest, if you're Jose Mourinho or Pep Guardiola, you do not want to be overseen by Ferguson and Wenger, two of probably the most fantastic Premiership managers we've ever had.
Yeah. And both will obviously, I mean, you can't see Alex Ferguson leaving Man United unless he just decides, that's it, I'm retiring and going to put my feet up and run my wine farms in South Africa and horse farms and things like that. I mean, I can see Wenger moving up into the higher echelons of Arsenal, but Alex Ferguson, do you see him still being involved in a sort of an office position?
No, I think it would be far more attractive to go and sit in your wine farm in Imperial and Franschhoek and
exactly,
and go there and just enjoy your time. But no, I mean Sir Alex is, and like Arsene Wenger, they are both totally motivated by football. Arsene Wenger, they'll come back from an away European tie and get back about 2, 3 in the morning. He'll sit up till 6, 7 in the morning watching all the European games. He is very thorough. So, whether or not they'd be able to break away from it remains to be seen. But, really this year, United have not played particularly well, but they're still getting results.
Yeah.
Again, as I mentioned earlier, it's always, things can change very quickly over the Christmas period. But United have put themselves in a very strong position now to go on and claim the title.
Yeah. It's kind of one of those leagues where you need one team to go and say, listen, I mean, everyone, all the big names, the Man Cities, Man United, as you've said, are leaving the door not just ajar, like quite a bit open, take it by the scruff of the neck and say, here's our opportunity, and no one seems to be doing that at the moment.
Absolutely not. Again, because it's been so inconsistent throughout all the teams. I would say that, Chelsea, they're the ones you thought would have taken advantage, but of course with the managerial changeover, they got a good victory last week, a 3-1 victory, and Torres was back on form, scoring 2 and creating the third goal for them. They're going to need Torres because they haven't replaced Didier Drogba. They're going to have to bring somebody in the transfer window. But say with Benitez being there as an interim manager, how much money is he going to be given to spend?
Yeah.
So yes, other teams, Liverpool are back in the top half of the table for the first time this season.
Hallelujah.
After their victory last weekend.
It's only
So
temporary.
for all Liverpool fans, I'm sure they're smiling a bit.
It's only temporary.
Oh, please, you're 7. You're not that far off, my
It
friend.
was still above you. The
So
interesting
yeah,
one.
and of course, Tottenham were away. They were 4th place at the start of play last week, and then went away to Everton, and of course went 1-0 up with about 10 minutes to go, and then unfortunately conceded 2 goals. One to Steven Pienaar, obviously who was with us last season, and then they got the final winner in the 92nd minute. So it's quite an amazing stat. But a stat came out last week that if Tottenham, every Premier League game they played this season, had finished after 80 minutes instead of 90 minutes, we'd be clear at the top of the table by 3 points.
Yeah.
So it just shows that we're obviously the last 10 minutes of game we're conceding far too many goals, and obviously that's something which has to be worked on by AVB.
Yeah. Did I see somewhere Julian Lescott going back to Everton?
No,
Again, that looks at could be taking place.
Yeah, okay, that'll be interesting. Because if any side, you take away all the big names, if any side has the opportunity to take advantage of the, the big spenders or the big sides stumbling and no one taking the initiative, I look at Everton. They seem to be one of the most consistent sides in the Premier League, and they can beat anyone on their day, and they seem to have their day quite often. They won't get a better opportunity than now.
No. Again, I've got a lot of time for David Moyes.
Yeah.
I think he's an excellent manager. He was obviously linked to the Tottenham job when Harry Redknapp left last summer. But for me, I think David does a great job there.
Yeah.
He's not had a lot of money to spend, but he's got a couple of high quality players in the side at the moment. And again, every season you're going to get a team perhaps maybe you didn't quite expect to be in that top area, but you always expect Everton to be there or thereabouts. Last year it was Newcastle that came through and were fighting for that 4th spot. And this year, obviously we've had a number of teams up there, including West Bromwich Albion. They seem to have faltered a bit at the moment and stumbled at the Emirates last weekend, being beaten by Arsenal. But no, Everton have put themselves again in a good position. They're now 4th, leapfrogged above us after their victory last weekend.
The other speculation, by the way, just on the subject of Pep Guardiola, now that he's come out and said that if he does go to the UK, Arsenal would be his team. Chelsea have come straight out and said that in that case, then is it Jurgen Klopp? Is it Borussia Dortmund? Their coach is going to be their target. So it seems like there's a bit of fire where there's smoke at the moment.
Yes, but the game's always full of speculation and rumours. And so you're okay there. All I see is playing with a ball in your hands. There,
it's the new pink cricket
ball.
ball.
Away.
No, Gary, this is when we play England again. We're using a pink cricket ball so that your batsman can see it clearer. Sorry, it's normally a pen, but I've got the cricket ball going here. Sorry.
Yeah. I think we also need a pink rugby ball as well.
All right. Well, listen. Is the Christmas tree up yet?
Yes, all the decorations are up in the house, so we've had them up for a couple of weeks now.
Fantastic.
So my young girls, they're 9 and 14 now, so the 9-year-old's getting very excited.
Isn't it nice though for the dad as well, dad and mom, to also watch the kids getting excited about Christmas? Eh?
The trouble is, I'm the biggest kid of the lot, really.
There we go. Gary, thank you so much for all your time during the course of the year. It's really great to chat to you. Have a very, very good and blessed and safe Christmas. Maybe, hopefully, it's a white one for you guys as well. Get a bit of snow around there as well. There's no better place to be in the world over Christmas time other than New York or in London. It's absolutely fantastic. So enjoy it, and thank you for your time.
Thank you very much, and Merry Christmas to all of you down there.
Thanks, Gary.
Gary.
Cheers, man.
Cheers, thanks,
Bye-bye.
Bye.
There's Gary Mabbutt off to go and fetch the kids, come home, Christmas trees up, getting ready for Christmas in London. And, nice little wrap-up of what's going on.
Yeah.
Interesting times, I'm telling you right now. Come next year, middle of next year, after the season.
I love transfer window.
Pep
It's like the
Guardiola
best
coaching
time
Arsenal.
ever. Oh, please.
I think Arsene Wenger will go to France. I think he'll coach France.
You
I know
will
they're not
be.
doing too badly now, but I think he'll eventually end up there. Pep Guardiola at Arsenal, Klopp at Chelsea.
Where's
and,
Theo going? Wild card.
Theo's going to Man United, but that's fine. Let him go.
And Nani?
Because we'll get Messi and
Yeah.
all Pep's boys are going to come to Arsenal.
No, you're dreaming.
No, they won't do that. I think Arsenal, if they get Pep Guardiola, what they'll say is, listen, what they're waiting for is this new thing, capping players' salaries and stuff, in which case, if they do that, out of all the big teams, Arsenal are the only side that'll basically be able to maintain,
of
because the others
course.
are going to be in big shit
Yeah, well,
if they come with that. I think that's what they're holding out for.
pity money doesn't get you trophies.
But I think Arsene's just waiting for Pep to finish his sabbatical, and then he'll be here, and you have no interest in this whatsoever.
Oh, I'm loving it.
Are you?
Yeah, it's interesting.
Is it?
I promise you.
What
that's
is wrong
one of-
with you?
That is one of my New Year's resolutions.
To get more interested in football.
In football, I must say,
Mine
and
is golf.
I've said it before. I just can't handle the way these guys behave, how much money they get, and shit. I think it's ridiculous.
Feel the same
So,
about
but I'm
golf,
going to
so-
make a
Well,
concerted
if it
effort.
goes the way they want it to go, then teams like Man U and Chelsea and Man City, they're in big trouble.
This is Balls Visual Radio. Darren, Simon, Kate, and John. Weekdays from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. Central African Time. Balls.co.za.